Hello and welcome everyone to this week's COT review. I'm Thomas from COTBase.com. Today we're going to be looking at the 26th Commitments of Trade Report of 2020. And as we always do, we shall be looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. So here we go. As you can see, we've got the metals complex on top of our list. That's something for our subscribers. So we shall continue with gold with a 21% change in commercials positions, 19 in large speculators. You can see the change size is definitely greater than average, but nothing too unusual. It suggests we could see a bit of a decline coming early next week. So it is a bearish COT change signal. But as I said, since it's not that large, it's close to average, maybe a little bit larger, but I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. Moving on to the 5-year chart, we get a chance to see how extreme the market is. We're definitely closer to bearish extreme levels. We had that significant bearish extreme just before we had a drop in the market here in March. Since then, we've moved away from those high extremes, but still much closer to bearish extreme levels. So that's something you should keep in mind in the medium to long term. The Japanese yen is our next market where we have a 10% change in commercials positions. You can see the change size on this 1 year chart. Again, we can state that this change size is larger than average, although we could see greater changes in the past. Again, suggesting some weakness coming early next week. And if we move on to the 5 year chart, you can see that in this 5 years period, we are definitely much closer to bearish COT extreme levels. We've seen greater extremes in the past. You can see that those levels are not that far away. So extreme analysis tells us that we should be expecting more of a weakness in the medium to long term in the Japanese yen. The true US dollar index, that's something unique here at COT Base, where we basically add up the COT positions of all the currency markets that are, of course, in the dollar index basket. And we take the dollar equivalent of those and we construct our own COT charts. So that's something very unique, and I'll show you these charts right now. So you can see here we have an 8% change in commercials positions. It is greater than average. It shows a bullish signal suggesting some strength coming in the dollar index early next week. And if we move on to the 5 year chart, you can have a look at that 112 report extreme in commercials and 111 report extreme in large speculators. So this, again, bullish extreme, suggesting strength coming in the dollar in the next couple of weeks, month ahead of us. Moving on to large speculators COT extreme, we've got the Australian dollar on top of our list with 112 report extreme in large speculators. You can see that extreme on the charts over there. You can see it's more or less in between the two extremes, but it does say that for roughly 2 years we have not seen such a bearish extreme in the market. This, of course, can grow to even greater levels. So that shows you, we should not jump right away at this opportunity, but nevertheless, it is a bearish extreme. That if fits into your strategy, it definitely supports some weakness coming in the Australian dollar. The true US dollar index, we just talked about that, so we're going to jump over and look at the euro market, where we have that 110 report extreme in large speculators, 113 in commercials. Big extremes over here. There's no question. Of course, this definitely fits into the picture that we just saw in the dollar index. The euro has the largest value in the dollar basket, the dollar index, and so we're not surprised to see an opposite signal. You can see what happened to the euro back in 2018 when we had that top. There was a huge bearish COT extreme in the market, and as you may see, since February of this year, we've been dynamically going in that direction. I mean, commercials have been changing their positions and commercials increasing their net short positions, large speculators adding to the net long, and that basically gets us to this bearish extreme, which suggests that in the medium to long term, we should be expecting further weakness in the euro market. Copper will be the next and last market for this review, where we can witness a 66 report extreme in large speculators positions. You can see that over there on the chart. With this 5 years time horizon, you can also see that there's plenty of space left to reach even greater extreme levels like the one from June of 2018, a beautiful signal just at that top. And we have not seen prices go past that level. So this bearish extreme suggests that we may see some weakness in the medium term, possibly in a few weeks' time. Definitely fits into the picture that we've been looking at. For instance, the dollar index, which seems to be giving us a safe haven asset in these volatile times. When things get a little bit risky, then money tends to flow into the dollar, and that fits into the picture with copper as well. So, of course, don't forget, you have the option of looking at all markets at COT Base. I only show you a few market categories in these COT reviews. You can look at new COT report types like the disaggregated, the traders in financial futures or commodity index traders COT report types. These are newer reports. You can look at other data types like the futures and options data, or you can actually analyze the options only data, which again is something very unique and available only at COT Base. You can analyze other data sets if you wish, and of course dig deeper by looking at multiple reports compared to a defined look back period. You can chart these changes as well. You can dig deeper and look at the COT index or the move index. We have a very cool long-term trend indicator. And of course, we also analyze volume and open interest, which you can do here at COT Base. So I appreciate your attention. Thank you very much for being with me. I wish you a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.